their children will not be pushed out. In fact, none of these four categories of Varna, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra, none of them was by birth. If at all, as Rishi Atre said, everyone is born a Shudra, but afterwards when he selects his vocation in life, he becomes a Dvija and then he goes to one of these castes. Veda Vyasa, who is a Maharishi who wrote the Ramayana, Mahabharata, his mother was a fisherwoman. Valmiki is considered to be child of the Dalits. He wrote the Ramayana, he became Maharishi. Kalidasa was the greatest poet we produced, and he was a hunter. Vishwamitra, the Rishi of Rishis, he was born in a Kshatriya family. Where is this Brahmin supremacy that people talk about? It is knowledge supremacy. And yes, Brahmin, there was a famous Brahmin, and he was Ravan. Ravan was a Brahmin. Most people don't know that. Karunanidhi never knew that and he used to worship Ravan. He used to celebrate Ravan Leela. Because Rama was from north, therefore he must be a Brahmin. I said, no, Rama is a Kshatriya. No, it can't be. I said, Ravan is a Brahmin. In fact, he went to Mansarovar. In fact, I had urged the Chinese to reopen Mansarovar because my influence with the personal friendship with their topmost leader, Deng Xiaoping, he agreed, and I was the first pilgrim to go after 35 years. So on the way to Mansarovar, I saw a very big lake on the way. I thought that is Mansarovar, so I told my guide, Tibetan guides, that Mansarovar has come. They said, no, this is called Ravan Haranga. So I said, Ravan Haranga, what does that mean? They said, Haranga means Sarovar, that is lake. But Ravan we don't know, some Indian name. So I said, oh really? Let me also collect a sample of this water. They said, no, don't touch this water. If you drink it, you will be poisoned. You may even die. So an evil thought crossed my mind. I filled a bottle of that water and brought it and gave it to Karunanidhi and said, please drink it. He did tapasya, Ravan did tapasya there. That's why Shiva Bhagavan was available to him whenever he wanted. But he broke the law. So Kshatriya killed him. The Brahmins of India do not worship Ravan and say that this Rama, terrible fellow, he's killed one of our Brahmins. He doesn't say that. Because it got nothing to do with birth. But he's got connected with birth now. And that's why he's creating problems. Because Karunanidhi no more talks about Ravan anymore. He only talks about Rama. Once when I was arguing the matter on Ram Setu in Supreme Court, I said, Ram Setu. And he heard about it from the newspaper and he said, what is this Subramanian Swamy saying, Ram Setu? Who's Rama? Is he an engineer? Which engineering college he got a degree from? Next day he fell ill. So he was admitted to a hospital by the name Ramchandra Medical Hospital. It's a famous hospital. I sent him a letter saying, get well soon. At least Rama has got an MBBS, you can be satisfied. This is the kind of distortion that has gone into the minds of the people. This Sanatana Dharma has stood you ground because we separated these powers and we downgraded the status of money. Make money, no problem, but don't be greedy about it. Nothing is going to depend, your society, your social status is not going to depend on it. If at all it depends, it's how much of philanthropy you do. And that's what has kept you stable all this time. You see, we have 800 years of Islamic rule, 200 years of Christian rule through the British. What about other countries which had this kind of conquest? Iran was a Zoroastrian country, what we call as Parsis today in India. The Islam conquered Iran. Within 15 years, they made them 100% Muslim. Muslims conquered Babylon and Mesopotamia, which is now called Iraq. Within 21 years, they made them 100% Muslim. In 17 years, they made Egypt 100% Muslim. Christians made Europe within 50 years 100% Christian. But here 800 years of Muslim rule, 200 years of Christian rule, and you're still 80%. 80% Hindu. That means the Hindu must have fought. Maybe our war techniques were not proper for these barbarians who came. Because we had rule, you cannot fight till the sun rises, and you cannot continue the fighting after the sun sets. You have to go back to your tambu and have a night's sleep. You cannot fight in the agricultural field. You cannot fight in the cities, in population centers. You have to fight in open Maidan, like Kurukshetra, or even Ravan had to come out his fort and fight Rama in the open Maidan. And once you lose and you say, I'm sorry, you return back everything and say, Chalo, bhai, wapis jao. And Prithviraj Chauhan sent back Muhammad Ghori 16 times that way. Forgave him and sent him back. 17th time he came, he had the support of Prithviraj Chauhan's father-in-law Jaichand, and that's how Islam was established. But the fighting never stopped. Whether it's the Vijayanagara Empire, which was founded in the south to drive out the Islamic invaders. It lasted 300 years, the Vijayanagara Empire, and covered more areas than the Mughal Empire did. Right up to Assam they went. But in the history books, Akbar to Aurangzeb is only 150 years. But one chapter for each Badshah. But Vijayanagara Empire, one paragraph. There was in South India, there was an empire called Vijayanagara Empire. There was Rani Chennamma in Karnataka who valiantly fought against the Islamic rule. Kattabomman in Tamil Nadu fought against the British and was hanged. What about Rana Pratap? He ate ghas ki roti, but he said, I will not submit. Rani Jhansi. Fighting continued throughout. Shivaji, of course, I cannot forget. So India has this tradition of having fought. But our history books and our young people are all taught to say, no, we're beaten. And the English said, we are also one more invasion. You have had so many invasions, we are also one more invasion. This is the mind that is being controlled. And today, in the name of globalization, we are becoming materialistic and materialistic. And we are forgetting Sanatana Dharma. Those who have achieved prosperity, they are thinking about us, our Sanatana Dharma. There is this very famous rich Hollywood actress called Julia Roberts. She went to Haryana to do a shooting, and then she asked her crew people, what is this? All people seem to be, there's so much calmness in their face despite all the poverty. What's the reason? So they took her to some Swamiji, and he explained to them about Gita and how people accept what they have freedom to do and what is inevitable, what's not in their hands, etc. She was so impressed that she came back, she became a Hindu and made her whole family Hindu. I'm sure you would have seen in the papers that this Hollywood actress has become a Hindu with her entire family. You go to any of these ashrams of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Swami Ramdev, they are full of foreigners, rich foreigners from foreign countries, or Sai Baba when he was on this earth. Why is it that after achieving so much prosperity, they are not happy? Because happiness, how to achieve that happiness, is there in Sanatana Dharma, that if you pursue material goals in harmony with your spiritual values, you shall be happy, otherwise you shall not be happy. This is what Sanatana Dharma teaches. So long run, there is a need for a course correction. I'm not saying that you should all become sadhus and wear bhagwa kapda. No. I am saying pursue it, but don't extol the accumulation of money as an end in itself. I was very deeply disappointed when I went to the IIM to give a lecture and asked all the students, why are you here? Why did you enroll in this IIM? Almost without exception they said, because our after degree prospect of employment with the highest pay is in IIM. I said, you have no love for the subject? He said, no, we have no love for the subject. We are here because we want a good career. 20 years, 30 years ago, everybody was going to engineering. A little before that, they were going to write IAS and ICS exams. So our mind has been made up like that. We cannot be a strong nation just because there are a billion people. You have 1,000 goats and 1 tiger. The goats have the majority, but it is after seeing the tiger, they will run, not the tiger will not run. In fact, the tiger will chase them. Strength also is not enough. If you go to a circus and you see this cage, 1 thin ringmaster, 5 lions, each very strong, well-fed, each of them can kill that ringmaster. But they obey him when he says, get up, go on, climb up the table. They all climb up the table. This is called the mindset. We have today, our mind is being set not by us, not by our Sanskriti, but by the Westerner view of what we should be doing when they themselves have failed. They themselves are coming, searching from us how to do yoga, how to do this, how to do that. Even in Harvard, when I'm teaching, I get harassed by phone calls because they see my name Swamy, so they think I must be some sadhu. I get telephone calls asking me to come and give pravachan and all that. See? So, why is that? Anyway, let us learn from this world trend. It's not going to produce happiness. So, corruption will definitely go. Once the value, the status value of money goes down. That's the long run solution. You have to bring it back. I'm very happy that you have a Hindu Mahasabha association here. There's nothing wrong with being called Hindu. We are Hindus. We are all one Hindus because our DNA is the same. I've told many people that I challenge anybody to show me that Indians are different. But when Raj Thackeray was making the statement that all these UP taxiwalas must leave Bombay because they are not Marathis, I clandestinely got a sample of his hair. And I got one taxi driver's sample of his hair also. And I got it tested for DNA and found the DNA is the same for both. So I announced that Thackeray has also come from UP. Who is he to talk about UP taxiwala? We are one people. When I came as a student to Harvard originally in the early 60s to do my PhD, my classmate, an American, asked me, how can you accept Mahatma Gandhi as your leader? So I said, why? In America you will not accept him. He said, America will put him in jail for indecent exposure. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, our leaders have to be well dressed. They must have a nice tie, must have a nice suit. We will not accept somebody who is just putting one piece of cloth and moving around. That made me think. How is it that millions and millions of people don't raise this question? They are all following Gandhi. All followed Gandhi. That is the Hindu ethos. That ultimately sacrifice, giving up, is raised to the highest status. Why is Ramdev so acceptable? Why is Anna Hazare with his simple Gandhi topi acceptable? Why was Gandhi your leader? Why was JP your leader? Not because they were smartly dressed and went around in Cadillacs, because they were simple people. That is the ultimate value. And that value is the value we must bring back. Then long run corruption. Can we, all this 2G, everything, we will take care, no problem. There are many more coming, by the way. It's not 2G, it's only the start. I don't know where we'll keep them. Maybe we'll have to outsource our jails to America. But in the long run, we must be self-sustaining in fighting corruption. And that can only come by not a new culture, but our old culture, with the amendment that for a long time to come, we must forget these caste distinctions. We must unite as Hindus. I have no difficulty. I have no difficulty accepting any Muslim or Christian also as part of the family, provided they acknowledge what is the truth, what the DNA says, that their ancestors are also Hindus, and therefore they respect the culture of India because their ancestors were Hindus. If they say that, they are part of my family. If they say they are descendants of Gori and Ghazni, then the proper place for them is Pakistan, not India. This unit, this identity of India has to be firmly planted, because we are going to have big challenges coming. Pakistan is crumbling, the Taliban will take it over, you're going to have a war. You have homegrown terrorists in India now. For the first time, after this Bombay blast, we can say that we have finally got homegrown terrorists. Homegrown means they are financed by Pakistan, definitely. But they are not Pakistanis, like Kazab was. And therefore, you're going to have a major problem for which we need unity. And that unity, we need a government which comes on the power of that unity. Today, the governments are coming on the power of division of our country. Separate the Muslims, separate the Christians, break them into Yadavas, Hindus into Yadavas and scheduled castes and so on. This fragmentation of the Hindu community is the source of today's government formation. We must change that and say the Hindu unity should be the source of government formation. There will be a revolution in India in expectations overnight. All of you should resolve this. There's nothing you need to do in India. We've got enough people in India. But we certainly would welcome information. Lots of politicians visit here. Lots of information is available. Rahul Gandhi was studying in Florida, in a place called Winter Park, Rollins College. How did he pay his tuition fees? From an account in Cayman Island. Illegal account. If some of you have influence in that college, you should get the transcripts. Once I did that with Sonia Gandhi. She claimed that she was educated in the University of Cambridge and got a degree in English. It was an affidavit. It's a sworn affidavit. I had gone by chance to give a lecture in University of Cambridge. I asked the people there. They said, no such student. So I said, will you give it to me in writing? They said, yes. They gave me in writing. As per your query, we want to inform that by the name of Antonia Maino. Oh, she has many names. Antonia Maino, Sonia Gandhi, Edwige, Albino Maino, etc., etc. So they gave me the letter. I gave it to the Speaker of the Lok Sabha and said, you see, she has claimed that she has got this degree. Please, this is wrong. She should be asked an explanation. The Speaker sent it to her. And she replied back saying it was a typing mistake. How can it be a typing mistake? Typing mistake can be a comma, full stop. But a whole sentence is a typing mistake. Then she should send it to the Guinness Book of World Record for the longest typing mistake in the world. Now these people, they fib a lot. We can't know. Now that's important because she said that she was in England studying. She was 5 years in England between 1963 and 68 before marrying Rajiv Gandhi. If she was not studying, what was she doing? Well, I know, but I'm not going to tell you today. You'll read my website, janataparty.org, it's all there. So, I'm saying that, these people today are supporting corruption. They're supporting Hassan Ali, they are refusing the Supreme Court, they are blocking on the 2G as much as they can. So they are actually not helping us at all, and they have reduced the Prime Minister's chair into a joke. So we have to have everything we know about them. That's something you can do sitting here. Because this country is today, we are in a position to get through the RTI, the Freedom of Information Act, and so many other things. By sheer access, movement and so on, you can get a lot of information. This is what we need to know, and certainly I'll be communicating with you in the future. But the most important thing is to develop a positive mindset, to become a strong, I would say Hindustani. If it means that Hindustani would mean a Hindu plus all others, those who acknowledge that their ancestors are Hindus, that combination would be, that grouping would be called Hindustani. We must be one, rising above all our differences, because the hour of challenge is very near. You're going to have a war from the Taliban-based controlled Pakistan, and we have to be ready to have the final war with Pakistan. And for that we have to prepare our mindset as a fighting public, as a public which is not bothered about small things, but a public which is ready to make the necessary sacrifice. That is the long-run solution. Otherwise corruption will make us lose what our Jawans have been periodically winning on the battlefield. We will lose because our leaders will make the sacrifice of the national interest because of corrupt reasons. This is what I want to say. Thank you very much.